Hi Chakits, I have been following you and watching your YouTube channel for years.
I have decided to finally relocate to Las Vegas and want to start a new chapter in my life. I know you're the perfect realtor to help guide me to find my next dream home. I am looking for a modern kitchen, large backyard with a pool and a golf course community.
My name is Chakits Krulsawat with Simply Vegas, a licensed real estate agent out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I help buyers like this all the time, so if you're looking for a licensed professional, give us a call at 702-319-1092 or visit lvhomeexperts.com. Buying a home starts here.
And projects backed by our 20 years of experience. Whether it's a closet, pantry, garage storage, floor coatings, entertainment center, laundry room, home office, custom bookcases, and window coverings, Closets Las Vegas will give you the look and feel you want in your home. Please contact me, Pat, for your free consultation, and don't forget to ask about 0% financing for 18 months. I look forward to working with you.
Does your house look like and have you been considering remodeling your home for some time now? Well, if you love real estate like I do and appreciate the attention to detail in the craftsmanship required to build a remodel or a gorgeous home, then I got the perfect company for you. Guys, I highly recommend Design Zone Remodeling. They are a stellar company that will turn your outdated home into your own personal sanctuary. They specialize in bathroom remodels, kitchen remodels, and full house remodels. Design Zone Remodeling has a reputation for excellent workmanship, competitive fees, and being able to offer a wide range of services and deliver the outstanding results to their clients. I use Design Zone Remodeling on my personal properties. Give Design Zone Remodeling a call today at 725-223-0871 or visit their website at designzoneremodeling.com to request a free consultation. It doesn't have to be perfect either. We're just hanging out. Yeah, you can choose to. It can get a little bit hot in here. If it gets hot, just open it up. Ready to go? We live? You got the mics on? Mic's on, York? All right. There we go. We are now live, but also recording at the same time.
Hi.
Today we got a special guest. We got Camy, which is, I just checked your Instagram.
Yes.
And you almost have 500,000 followers, which is very impressive.
Almost 2 million on Facebook, but that doesn't count anymore, does it?
Oh, how come? Here, let's get this mic in front of you here.
All right, there we go. Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear? What do you mean it doesn't count anymore? How does that work?
Well, you know, Facebook now, like, which is the same thing that's happening with Instagram.
Yeah.
Before, like, my reach on Facebook was, like, amazing. Like, it was organic. I would get 50,000, 100,000 likes on stuff. And then now, or probably like 3-4 years ago, they wanted you to start paying to get better reach.
Really?
Yeah. So now, like, nobody sees my stuff on Facebook now. And then
Do you get a lot of business from social media?
I have gotten, yes, I do. And
Okay.
I would say like more word of mouth now, but I have gotten a lot of leads off of social media.
And obviously you're a licensed real estate agent here, and that's the reason why I brought you on the show. So there's a couple things I do want to talk about. You're a mom.
I am.
Okay. How many kids you got?
2.
Two.
2 girls.
Ooh. Is that tough?
Kinda, because my 3-year-old thinks she's a teenager.
Okay.
And then my 20-month-old like has my personality, which is not good.
And your husband is also a lender, which
He
is
is.
kind of impressive. What company does he work with?
He's with Cardinal.
Okay. Now, the entertainment business, I guess you were part of the sports or entertainment or something like that I see on Instagram?
Yeah, I do a lot of the Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know she got a bunch of tattoos.
I do. Yep.
So is that kind of like the new thing now, and is it acceptable in the real estate world?
I don't care what's acceptable. It's what I am.
Because I've noticed that some agents, they're very, suit, tie,
Good for them.
very, very proper.
It's very hot.
And yes, it is. And I noticed that the real estate industry has changed a little bit, right? I mean, obviously, I got tattoos, and at the end of the day, not everybody's going to like you.
that
right?
means they don't have good taste.
That's true.
That's what I say.
And I noticed you got some Louis Vuitton slippers, and you got the bag. You're like balling out of control. What's going
I dressed
on?
down today for you.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Comfortable? I did too. See the shirt? She said I dressed down. So I want to get into the real estate market.
Okay.
How long have you been doing this?
It'll be 7 years in January.
7 years. How do you like it so far?
I love it. I like being my own boss.
Okay.
I like telling people how I feel and not having to worry about HR coming after me.
Okay.
No, honestly, it is good. I like helping people make one of the biggest decisions in their life, purchasing a home. That's one of their biggest decisions, unless obviously you're an investor or what have you. But
Yeah.
I work with a lot of people who it's their first home or they're upgrading, they make more money now, so they want to get the big house. So it's nice to be part of that process and help facilitate it.
Got it. And what's the company you work with?
I work with Platinum.
Platinum. Oh, Steve Hawks.
Steve Hawks, yes.
Oh, nice. So you're just right down the road.
I am.
So it didn't take you that far to get down there.
I live down the road too.
Oh, okay, so it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Can I get your current perspective of the market at this time? And I want you to tell me the truth, because every agent that comes here, they're always like, the market is great, you got to buy. I want to know your perspective.
Are we talking about the commission stuff or just in
No,
general?
just in general, like the housing
It's
market.
shit. It's, let's be honest, I can curse, I'm assuming, right?
Of course.
Okay, well, that's all I do.
I've got tattoos. You can do whatever you want.
At least you don't say tatted.
Yeah.
I hate people who say tatted. Can we just do a side note? Stop saying tatted. Stop saying tatted, guys. Okay?
Why is that?
It's just so cringe. Like,
Is it
oh,
really?
you're so tatted. I'm like, ugh, get away from me. Ugh, you smell. So it's shit, let's be honest.
Okay.
Everybody thinks their house is worth more than it is, and everybody wants a deal. And it's hard because you're delusional and you're delusional. Let's all meet in the middle, because your house is not worth $500,000 more than you have it listed.
Yeah.
And if you really want the house, you're going to pay the price, obviously not the list price, but you're going to pay a price that's reasonable. So everybody wants a deal. Everybody thinks it's time to get a deal, and everybody thinks that it's time to sell at the highest price. And it's just hard to deflate some egos sometimes, because they just feel like what they think is right. I've studied the market. What did you do? You looked on Zillow to see the last 3 houses sold? Is that what you
Is
did?
Zillow not accurate?
No. Is there an A in Zillow? No.
So the best thing to do is obviously contacting an agent.
Professional, of course.
Yeah. And as far as the market, the interest rates, has that really affect the housing market?
100% it has. That's why, so when the interest rates started going up a little bit, I had a townhome for a friend that I had listed that it would have gone like this in 2022. Quick as out, multiple offers. Just sat there for 6 months, and it was like under 400.
Yeah.
And I had another one that just fell out. It was a cash buyer, and they were cash buyer. The house was only $475. We were the only offer in 10 days.
Yeah.
And it was, the house wasn't the best, but it was like 4 bedrooms, 3 bath. It wasn't horrible. And we were the only offer, and we got it at $445.
This is what I'm not understanding with the current housing market. Home pricing has gone up to an all-time high. $485 for single-family residents, condos, and townhomes also had skyrocketed. It's like at all-time high. But the inventory is high, which is kind of throwing me off. It's how do we get more in supply, but home pricing keeps going up?
Because the consumer is paying it. So, we have more supply, but the consumer, isn't being educated by their agent. And let's be honest, some of these agents that are either in the business long enough or just got in the business, all they care about is the commission. And that's what sucks, and that's what's giving agents a bad name. Hence these commission lawsuits. But they are just like, oh, it's $485. Let's just say you need to go at $490 because you never know. Like we should just do it at $490. We should do it. $5,000. Oh, just get it from your grandmother. People are going more into debt to get these houses, and I feel like agents just aren't educating their clients, and they just care about the bottom line, which is the commission. And I think that's doing a disservice to a lot of people, and that's what's driving the prices up.
Can you get a deal in today's market?
I'm sure if you look for one, you can. But I came from Miami, so these prices in Miami would be like a godsend. So for me, when I first moved here, I was like, oh my God, look at these prices. This is crazy. But yeah, I mean, you can if you search for one, but like the new home builders, right? Their interest rates aren't that great either.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get a deal if you search for one. If somebody wants to sell really bad, or they're like desperate because they have to move, then sure, yeah. But I don't think it's like they're handing them out. No.
So if I'm a buyer just sitting on the sidelines, I've got some cash, and based on what's going on today, we're waiting until the 18th if the Feds are going to drop interest rates, and we're coming into the fourth quarter. Typically, that's when you get better deals in the fourth quarter. Should somebody actually wait to buy a home? And plus, we got the election and all that stuff. I mean, should we wait till next year?
It's really up to whoever, like their life situation as to what's going on. Is their lease going to be up? Do they own a home already? Do they not want to rent anymore? Are they ready to expand their family? I just think there's different factors as to why you would buy now versus later. So that's just my opinion on it. And I wouldn't buy right now. I mean, I have a home though, so I want to buy an investment property, but I would have to finance it because I don't have $600,000, $700,000 cash just laying around to buy a home.
Mm-hmm. And what's the current interest rate right now, hovering around today?
I think when I spoke to my husband this morning, so it was like 6.85. He said.
And you know what's crazy? Even though if they drop interest rates by a quarter of a point, let's just say half a basis points, it's really not going to change that much. And people are kind of like holding off until the 18th, like, yo, they're going to drop rates,
They're not going to drop 2%. We will never get the 2-3% again for
that's gone.
Many years. I mean, we may never see it again. That's not going to happen. And and I think people are holding on to that, thinking it's going to happen. And unfortunately for them, you should have gotten a deal when you could, but now, like, there's no way. It's just not going to happen again.
Yeah, you can't live in the past.
No.
And I'm guilty of that, too, because, I bought it at a pretty good time. But I'm like...
Should have bought more.
Yeah, should have bought more. And I'm thinking, like, pricing should go down based on what's going on with the world economy. But here's the thing. People don't understand that when it comes to real estate, everything is all local, right? All they look at is what they hear on the news nationwide, and they lump it all together. Florida's getting hit very hard, right? Dallas is getting hit, but that doesn't mean it's over here we're running into that problem. And I feel like we still have a low inventory to the point where pricing is still good if you look across the country.
Oh, yeah.
But the problem is that when you live here for 20 years, you're looking at $485, and the average household income is less than $80,000. That's already 6 times the income. That I understand as a local, that's very expensive.
But think about all the people that are coming to Vegas. Like, I'm one of them. People coming from Texas, people coming from Utah, from California, Florida, like where these prices is like, what? Oh my God. Like in Miami where I'm from, a lot of my friends, they inherit their homes from their parents.
Yeah.
Because they cannot afford to buy a home. That it's really bad over there. And not just that, the homeowner's insurance is like, absolutely, it's not happening anymore. Nobody's getting insured because there's so much fraud.
See, not only that, I believe it's even gone up even double or even 3 times. And especially I'm looking at the condo market with that new litigation that they had with, those 2 high rises that fell down now. A lot of these HOAs, they are actually sending out assessments to all these people that own these units. And some of these assessments are like 50, 80,000. And now they're trying to get rid of it. The next buyer that comes along, they're not going to pay those they're not going to pay those assessments. And all they're trying to do now is just get rid of their property. And I feel that a lot of people, especially in like those states, high property taxes, people are going to start to look around, because if you look at the migration patterns, and if we take a look at the baby boomers is the biggest generation. What happens when you are in your 60s, 70s, right? You have this beautiful big house. What do? You downsize.
Yep.
So now you're going to get rid of that. And as you're downsizing, the first thing you're going to do is look at climate, right? You're going to look at property taxes, because now you're on a fixed income. And I feel like people are probably going to be moving out here even more. And I think that's what we're really shortage of is...
And water.
Oh, I'm not really worried about water because I'll be dead by then, so it doesn't matter.
I'm not really worried either. There's so many ways that they're going to get water here.
So I think Las Vegas will thrive, but if world economy tanks, I don't know if it's going to drop by like 50%. I'm thinking maybe 20%. But then if it does drop 20%, what's going to happen, right? they'll probably drop interest rates, but I don't think interest rates will ever go back down to 3%. So this is something that people are going to have to get used to.
Normal.
Yeah. And if you take a look at the last 20 years of interest rates, honestly, 5.5, 6%, that's actually pretty average. But I think, this last generation got so used to like the 3%, 3.25, 3.5, and that's like been so ingrained into us, and everybody's constantly focusing on that.
I agree. Yeah, and now they're like, oh, I'm gonna get ripped off. These interest rates, I'm gonna get ripped off. It's like I had a client who we were looking like a $4 million property, and he was financing it, and the rates were like at 5.25.
Yeah.
And he was not happy with the payment, and he's like, I'm gonna wait because interest rates are gonna go back down. You'll see. A year and a half later, I think 2 years now, he's like, I should have gotten it at
because now if you look at the pricing, especially on the luxury side, has really gone up pretty dramatically. I can't believe like some of these homes. Like, let me give you an example. We had like some Christopher homes when they were building brand new. They were going out for like 1.2, and they're about like 3,500 square feet. By the time you were done, you're into for like 1.8. And I'm looking at this home. I'm like, who the fuck would pay 1.8?
Are we talking about the 3-story ones?
No, the single story. This is before the
ones that are right next to each other?
Yes. Some of them were detached and some of them were attached. I was looking at the one that was detached. And there was one that was like facing the strip and had the pool. And I'm like, this guy's trying to sell this thing for 1.8. Who the fuck is going to buy this thing? And now I regret not buying the home because I have a friend that is listing her property. Same property, $3.8 million. I cannot believe how much home pricing has increased because of the demand.
And strip views are going to eventually run out. That's what I tell my clients.
Yeah. Not only that, especially like the communities. Like if you look at McDonald Highlands.
They're building so high. Those houses are going to fly off the damn mountain with the winds we have.
And it's just like once you have a lot with a strip view, you can never replace that. And I always call that like the unicorn property.
Unless they build in front of them. So that's something that sucks. That you have to make sure, like, Skya, I love Skya. It's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But if you don't have a house built in front of you already, you need to get that building envelope and figure out, because I know houses that, like, they had it done in a beautiful strip view. The house in front, it looks like the strip is just sitting on the roof.
Okay.
And nobody likes that.
So let me ask you this. If you had cash, you don't live in a home right now, but you got kids, you're thinking about purchasing a home, you've got about, 30, 40,000. What would you do right now? Would you wait?
I only have 30, 40,000?
Yeah, what would you do? And obviously you're trying to get into like a home that's, 400,000 or 500,000 at this time, it's a very tough market at that price point.
I would buy a DR Horton.
Really?
They have standing inventory.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where you would say, hey, this is where I'm going to buy.
If I was a starter right now and I wanted to be in Henderson, there's some right outside in Sparata. I just saw them the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I would buy one of those because they include everything.
Yeah.
The shades, the washer, dryer, the fridge, they include everything. It'd be silly not to.
Do you feel like buyers are starting to get a little bit more pickier? Because I kind of feel that way, especially at the 500 range. Like, I want to look at this. If I can buy this at 500, let me see what else is available. Because it wasn't like this like a year ago.
You would take what you had.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I do think so. But also builders, they don't care anymore.
Yeah.
They remember before COVID, you could pick out your countertop, you could pick out the color of your cabinets. After COVID, because there was no supply really, they pick everything out. And I think some buyers that I've had were like, "What do you mean I can't pick it out?" I'm like, "You can't. There's not that much inventory for them to give you what you want." And they're trying to just like push them out like this, which sucks because then there's so many issues after the home was built. But yes, I do think, like, I had somebody. Well, I think she was at like the 550. She's like, "I want that white island with the gray veins, and then I want to make sure that the floor is." I'm like, girl, this is not $1 million listing, honey. Okay,
yeah.
You need to like be realistic with what's available out here, and there's not much.
Yeah, so you should be pretty much thankful for what's available and what your money can actually buy. And I always tell my clients, like, you're not gonna get 10 out of 10.
No, you're not.
I mean, we can possibly get you 8 out of 10, but let's get you into something first, because you're gonna be missing that opportunity. Then there's times where clients will miss that opportunity and always go back and say, "Oh, I should have bought that property. I should have bought that property."
even us as agents do it.
Yeah.
Look at you and I saying now about that house, the 1.8. I mean, we're not, and that's what people ask me. They're like, what do you think's going to happen in the market? I'm like, I wish I had a crystal ball and I wish I could tell you. And, you know, but I don't know. I had a client who bought a really high-end home and he's like, well, do you think it's going to lose value? I said, I can only tell you the trends in this neighborhood and how it looks so far. I can't tell you that it's going to lose value 10 years from now because I don't know. You know, so that's something I hate. I don't like to sell like a fake dream to a client and be like, oh, this house is going to be worth 6 times in a year. Do I think equity, you're going to gain equity? 100%, but I don't know how much it's going to be worth.
Yeah, and I think if you're buying based upon, you're speculating that, hey, is this a good time to buy or not? Because if the market goes up, goes down, then you shouldn't be buying a home. You should be buying based upon, you need a home. Number 2 is, can you actually make that payment?
I know.
Right? And a lot of people don't really focus on their comfort level as far as the monthly payment. And the ones that do, I notice they kind of stretch themselves out pretty thin because they want to, like, you know, get their first home and they want to get like everything on the first home. But then you're really not living. And what I mean by that is, if you're only making $8,000 a month, but you're making a $3,600
You're
payment,
house poor.
basically. And why should you even live like that? And let me give you an example. When I bought my home, it was only $195,000. It's 1,600 square feet. What is that? 4 bedrooms and a loft, right? And it's just me and my wife. Could I go buy a $3 million home? I look at it all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm not making a $12,000 payment. That doesn't make any sense because my payment now is only like $930. And I got other properties that do pay for it, so I'm living rent free. And sometimes I sit here like, you know what? I do want to go buy that $3 million home because that's what I want and that's the lifestyle I want. But then I think about it, if I do that, then what happens is the lifestyle that we live right now, debt free, where we can eat dinner every single night, we can come and go as we please. If we want to, you know, fly out to Hawaii the next week, we have that option. We're very nimble. We can move and pivot very quickly. So, I mean, you got to kind of think about these things, right?
Yep, I agree.
Now, from the investment standpoint of view, okay, are there any good like investments out there that you see, or they're hard to get, or do you know anything about the investment side?
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I don't work with investors. So I cannot tell you what is a good investment for an investor. I will tell you that. I don't. I mean, I can see. I mean, I love Henderson. I think Henderson's a good investment. Period. You know, but I don't. I'm not. I don't want to give some false information that's going to bite me in the ass later.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell you anything when it comes to investment wise.
I like that you say that because there's a lot of agents out there that they pretend like they know everything, and agents should have like a niche.
Yeah.
Like your niche is not investment properties,
No,
and you're
it's
saying
not.
like, dude, that's not my niche.
It's not. And I'm going to be honest with you.
So you work with a lot of first-time home buyers and just regular clients that are looking to buy a second home, correct?
I do. I would say more higher end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I want to talk about the luxury side. To you, what is luxury? What does that price point start off at?
I mean, God, it's hard to say, right? I mean, in my mind, luxury is like over $1 million, because in my mind, growing up, I feel like $1 million. Oh my God, that is so much, but now it's nothing.
Yeah.
You know, like when we bought our house, I remember we bought it and we were like, oh my God, like this is a lot of money. And now, if you found our house for $1.5 million, it'd be gone in a second. You know, so
Yeah.
I just think, I don't know. For me, I think luxury is, you know, just the higher end neighborhoods that we know of, you know, whether it be Southern Highlands and,
Yeah.
you know, Augusta Canyon or Skya or McDonald Ranch or Summerlin or the Ridges, the Summit.
Yeah.
You know, that's for me. Even like Lone Mountain, have you seen those houses? There's some really nice houses in those little pocket homes that they have, little neighborhoods. So for me, high end is basically anything over like probably $1 million or $2 million.
Okay.
That's what comes to mind for me, at least.
Now, you mentioned that you like Henderson.
I do.
Why the city of Henderson versus the city of Las Vegas?
Well,
What do you like about Henderson?
Well, at first, when we moved to Henderson, my car insurance was cheaper. Not anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, it's gone up 100%, and I haven't even had an accident or anything. It's crazy. But
Well, I think that's
digress.
everybody.
I know, but that's just crazy. But anyways, I just like Henderson solely because, like, for me, it feels more family oriented.
Okay.
We did live in Las Vegas. We lived off of like Silverado when I first moved here.
89123.
Yes,
Mhm.
Bermuda and Silverado. And I liked it, you know, but it didn't feel as homey. Well, it did. They almost did abduct me at the neighborhood Walmart.
That one on Serene?
Yes.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
Wow.
Oh my God.
That's interesting.
Oh, yeah. That was a fun one.
All right. Off subject, real quick. Tell us the story. How did that transpire?
So I had just moved here. I was probably like here I have a funny story about that Walmart too. I'll tell you after. So it was probably like a year and a half, 2 years. And at the time I had Elvis, rest in peace, my little dog.
Okay.
And he would always help me everywhere because he was old, so I always had him with me. And I would always go to that little neighborhood Walmart all the time because that's just literally right down the street from the house. I mean, it wasn't the best of places. I think it's gotten worse. But I remember walking out and I would park on, like, this is the wall. Mm-hmm. And then the doors were right here. And I'll park right there sometimes because I had like a little Lexus. So I'll just park right there, grab what I needed, and then come right back out.
Yeah.
And I don't like something said, turn around. And because I was behind already that wall. As I was turning around, someone was going to grab me.
Wow. And
I started screaming. This woman saw it. So she came running out. Security came running out. The guy was like, he ran. He was like hiding. I mean, it was crazy.
What time was this?
It was like 6 o'clock.
Was it dark at that time?
No. And I just remember calling my husband, like, freaking out. And I always carry, but I had the dog on me. So, I mean, it was just like one of those things. I mean, you don't think, like, it's broad daylight, someone's going to come behind you and grab you. So that happened.
Now, when you say you carry, do you mean a gun or a dog?
Both. And I know how to shoot. I have good aim.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What kind of gun do you got?
I have a Glock.
Oh.
And I'm lefty, so it's a custom one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it was just something like you just didn't think it was gonna happen. It's broad daylight. Mm-hmm. But one more story is funny. It's not funny after 1 October, but I was at that Walmart, and I guess they were doing construction.
So you went back to the Walmart after that incident?
Well, yeah, a while later because I, didn't bring the dog with me. And all of a sudden, the lights turn off. And this was like maybe a couple days after 1 October. And everybody started screaming. I was like freaking out. I was like, oh, shit, what's going on? I went behind the toilet rolls, like the big mega toilet rolls.
Mm-hmm.
I went behind and I like put it in front of me and I called my husband. I'm like, I don't know, something's happening at Walmart. I am on the toilet roll aisle. So if anything happens, just find me here.
Wait, you were hiding inside the shelf?
Yes. Because I thought there was something happening. The lights turned off. People were screaming. I was like, oh no. And I just like got the big toilet rolls and I went behind it and I put it in front of me. Like I am very flexible. I made it happen.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, but my husband laughs about me.
Now, going back to the
sorry about that. So,
Henderson. So
I love Henderson.
Love Henderson?
Yeah.
I personally don't like Henderson. I hate the suburbs. I hate kids running around. Again, that's just my personal preference.
This is why I'm here, because the kids running around in the suburbs.
Okay. What school does your kids go to?
I'm not saying. Some fucking weirdos out there.
Oh, I guess so. Let me ask you this. If I had kids, what school should I take my kids to? Because that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Here in Vegas, especially a family. Mm-hmm. They want to know what is the best school. And this is off record because as an agent, you can't say this is a good school or not, right?
It's subjective.
Okay. To what?
To what somebody considers a good school.
Okay.
I may consider the Catholic school down the street a good school, but somebody may not.
I was talking to a client about, schools and stuff like that because he wanted a good school. And he made a good point. He was telling me, you can go to a good school, but it really comes down to your kid.
100%. And what happens at home after the school.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just have your kid there at school, do what they need to do. Then when they come home, oh, don't worry about homework. Oh, forget it. Go play video games. I think it takes two. It takes the school and it takes the parent to make sure that everything gets done correctly and you stay on top of things. That's my opinion.
Is the city of Henderson more expensive than the city of Las Vegas?
I would think so. I think Henderson got 12th safest city in the United States. Or it's number 7 or number 12, one of the two.
Last time I checked the statistics, I think the population was only like 300,000. But then if you just look at the master plan community of SUMMERLIN, they have over almost like 300,000 residents at this time.
Oh yeah, SUMMERLIN is huge.
Which is kind of crazy. That's a city versus a master plan community. And I don't think people really understand how big Vegas really is. Because sometimes I have conversations with a lot of my buyers that are from out of state. And they think Vegas is just a strip.
Yes.
But I'm like, dude, the strip ain't nothing.
Yeah. That's like a speck as to what is offered in Nevada.
Mm-hmm. And there's so much more to be offered here, I've noticed, than any other places I've gone to. I mean, if you want to go to the beach, I mean, it's only a 4-hour drive. I mean, if you want to go up to the mountains, it's, it's like 30, 40 minutes. If you want to go to the lakes, it's 30 minutes. Everything is remotely close. And another thing I've noticed is that a lot of clients that buy here, they always want the bigger backyard. Like, they're so used to, like, I want to cut grass, I want to mow my grass.
We're not going to have grass after 2025 or 2026.
Yeah. So, for me, I always explain to them, like, that's not the lifestyle out here. It's a whole completely different lifestyle. Some people can actually adapt to it, and some people can't. But I feel like Vegas, it's more for, like, convenience, right? You can literally, like, drive to a gas station, no matter where you live, within, like, 5-10 minutes. You should be at a grocery store. If you need to go to the hospital. That's another thing. They're, like, literally building, like, hospitals, like, all over the place now, I notice.
You can go from one side of the valley to the other in 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. In Miami, you want to go somewhere in 45 minutes, you're going 3 miles.
Really? That bad?
It is so bad. I'm going back. When does this get aired?
Right now. It's aired right now.
No, like, when does it go on, like...
You mean on IG?
Yeah.
Probably a couple weeks.
Okay.
But you will be tagged on it, by the way.
Oh, that's fine. No.
Some of the clips.
Oh, that's fine. No, so next week I'm going to Miami to surprise my family. And I'm not looking forward to it.
Well, I hope your family member is not watching it right now because you just told them when you're going. Because I just said this is live.
I hope you're not watching. What is this live on then?
This is live on YouTube, but we're also recording too for some IG stuff.
Okay, well, sorry guys, I'm lying. Today is August 1st. I don't know.
It is what it is.
I have no idea what I'm saying. But yeah, so I'm going to go next week and surprise everyone. And I'm not looking forward to it because the traffic sucks. The bugs suck.
Is it that bad?
It is so, it's worse, in my opinion, it's worse than LA. Like, it's so bad. My mom, she used to work, so she would leave her house at 6:30 in the morning to be at work at 9, and it was only 7 miles away. I mean, I'm telling you, it's like traffic is so bad. There's so many people that don't even have their license that are driving like crazy maniacs. It's my husband, when we go, he's like the most cool, calm, collected guy. We're complete opposites. He's like, I'm not fucking driving. You are driving because I can't. Like, he hates driving in Miami.
How bad is traffic here?
Oh, this is a dream. This is like the best.
Really?
Yes. He was like, this is traffic. I'm like, this is nothing. I don't care. I'll take it any day.
I complain about it. I get so used to it. I'm just
You're used to it.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
Go to Miami, then you'll really see.
But it's different. It's like when I, go to LA or something like that, I'm on cruise mode, so I don't care about the traffic. But if I lived there, it would probably drive me crazy.
Oh, it's so bad. I can't. I'm trying to move my mom out here because I'm just like, I can't take it. Like, I like going out there still because my family's there. Mm-hmm. But if I had a choice and if they weren't there, I wouldn't go. Mm-hmm. Bugs. It's like overpopulated. It's humid. It's traffic. I just can't.
So you kind of have the inside tip because your husband is a lender. Mm-hmm. September 18th, we're about 4 days away. Mm-hmm. Do you think they are going to cut rates?
August 18th or September?
September 18th.
You said 4 days away.
Yeah, what are we in? Oh, yeah, that's right. August. Oops, my bad. September. You know what I meant.
No, I was like,
so
wait a minute.
You confused me, too.
I was like, wait a minute. What's
September
going on?
18th.
Yeah. What do I think is going to happen?
Yeah.
Oh, they're probably going to lower the rate. I would hope they'd cut the rate. But do I think we're going to go back? No, I don't think. People need to be realistic. And they're like, oh, I'm going to wait till that day. Listen, it doesn't matter. Just get the house if you want it. This is what I tell my clients. I don't tell them to date the rate or whatever the fuck people say. That's so horrible. I ask them,
that's weak.
It's just...
If you're a sales agent right now and you're watching this video and if you're saying that. That is so weak. Do not say that.
What is it? Marry the home, date the rate, whatever. Don't say that, okay? People don't even like who they marry half the time, so don't do that.
And here's the thing. If you bought at 6.5 and it drops down to 6, you're not saving that much more money. No. That's the crazy part.
And the thing is, too, like, if you're that, like, upset, and let's say you're in escrow or you just got out of escrow and you close, recast the loan. Or refinance, like, down the line or something. Like, there's ways to get to where you want to be, per se, but don't be like, I'm waiting on this day till I get that home. It's like, no, you're not. You're just making excuses. Because if you really wanted it, you'd go for it if you had the means to do it.
Yeah. So do you think they're going to drop the rates? And if you do, how much do you think they're going to drop it by?
Maybe a quarter.
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't think they're going to drop the
You
rates.
don't?
No,
Okay.
because inflation reports just came out. They pretty much hit their target rates. However, I've noticed that things are still expensive.
So expensive. Where are they getting these numbers from? Because shit's still expensive.
Well, that's the thing. And I think, honestly, with this inflation, because we printed so much money, inflation is actually here to stay.
Yep.
And that's why I think when home prices go down, it's not going to drop by like 50%. It could possibly 10, 15, or even 20%. But I don't see it going down to 50%. And if it did, that means something crazy around the world. Yeah. Like literally happened. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but also people have to remember, like, one of my clients, she was like, well, what do you think it's going to be, in 3 years? And I go, let me ask you a question. How long do you plan on being in this home? Well, for the rest of my life. So what does it matter? Listen, home values may go down, may go up.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be here forever, it doesn't matter where your value's at.
Mm-hmm.
So just enjoy the home.
And a lot of people are really speculating like it's going to tank.
Oh my God, the market's going to tank. That's when I'm going to get it. I'm like, okay, hon, hold your breath. Let me know how it goes.
And here's the thing. I'm always on like YouTube. And I do like a lot of video home tours, right? And before I used to get like 20, 50,000, 100,000 views. But now a lot of people are starting to watch these videos like housing market's going to crash. The world's going to crash. And I'm looking at these views and people are literally watching these videos like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. Like people really focus always on the negative stuff. It's kind of crazy to me.
Because they want it to happen. Because they're
I do too, but
yeah,
shit,
but I feel
missed the boat.
People who are like constantly negative, I feel like they are just negative themselves. Like people who are like, oh, the market's gonna crash. It's like you want the market to crash because then you could say, well, I was right. But guess what? Even if it did crash, how much you want to bet you still couldn't afford what you want anyways. And I just feel like miserable people attract like that misery, if that makes sense. Like they just want things to be miserable so they can say that they were right and that they have a right to be miserable.
And the other thing is, they always like, okay, let me give you an example. So I watched Peter Schiff. He's an economist, CEO of a company that does like stocks and all that stuff, right? And his analysis is really good. I love this guy.
Peter Schiff, I'll look him up.
But Peter Schiff is saying that the market is going to crash based upon what's going on economically, and it makes sense. But the problem is the more money that you print and the more bonds that you sell, all you're doing is pushing the can down the road. We know that the market will tank, but we just don't know when, and we don't know by how much. That's the problem. And here's the thing. When it does, then they can always come out and say, hey, I told you the market's going to...
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've been saying this shit for like 10 years.
Exactly. What goes up must come down.
Yeah, exactly.
And what goes down must go up. So it's going to happen. It's inevitable. It's just when it's going to happen.
Okay. Let me ask you this final question before I let you go. Home buyer. If I'm going to get started right now, okay, what are the steps to get started in today's environment?
Call me, obviously. That's step one.
No, it was actually call me.
No, call me.
Okay, call her then.
If you want the Viper, you call me.
Oh, is that what she goes by?
It
The
is.
Viper?
It is.
Hey, that's pretty gangster.
I'm fucking
like that.
vicious.
The
I'm
Viper.
a very vicious buyer's agent.
You know, she doesn't even go by Cami anymore. It's the Viper.
My license
That's pretty
plate
gangster, dude.
even says Viper.
What kind of car you drive?
A Range Rover.
Okay. Yeah. So you got some money then.
I never said I was broke. or even close.
Do you have a tattoo that says Viper?
I have a Viper tattoo.
That's
this
dope.
one I just got done in December. Yeah. And then I got a big leg piece started.
Does your husband have tattoos?
None. He's a unicorn.
Okay, so kind of like the yin and yang then.
He is so calm.
Oh, that's dope.
Like, I mean, the calmest person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will freak out and just go full Latina crazy, and he'll be like, are you done? Yes, I'm done.
All right, going back. So, first-time home buyer, don't know where to start.
Call me.
Contact the real estate agent. Contact the Viper. Okay, so then what happens there? Kind of walk them through that process. How does all this stuff work?
Well, obviously, when you first meet someone, you want to learn about them.
Yeah.
It's not just the immediate sales pitch. I just like to learn about them, where they came from, what they do, what are their aspirations, what's their future look like. Okay. Then I ask them, okay, have you gotten pre-approved? Or how do you plan to purchase a home, whether it be cash, loan? Then we go through there, get our pre-approval process going. I know there's people that show homes without doing that. And, you know, more power to them. But I think my time is precious, especially with 2 little girls. So I want to make sure if I'm taking you out to go see homes that you could afford these homes, because I don't want you to fall in love with something, then these expectations that you had are like $100,000 less actually than what you actually think it was. So we do that. Do they know their neighborhoods? We don't know. So we'll talk about different neighborhoods, what their interests are. Again, if they have kids, what schools do they like? What school do they go to? And we just shop around, and then we finally find something. We talk about it, put in the offer. Obviously, we get the house because the Viper's on it. And then just go from there and see what happens. But I mean, for me, it's a long process in the sense of I don't just, hey, well, how's it going? Okay, you want to buy a house? Well, let's go look tomorrow. No, I like to get to know my clients. I would say like 99% of my clients I am friends with, except the ones that I've fired who are fucking weird. You know who you are. But other than that, like they're like my friends. I don't want them to feel like they're just purchasing from me or a house or what have you. I want them to feel like they can confide in me and talk to me.
So you're building that relationship and you're really getting to know them, their needs and their wants, and you're really narrowing it down and you're helping them out.
Yeah, because I mean, if they tell me I don't want a pool because my kids, are little, right? And then we like this house. And then you point out the pool. They're like, oh, thank you so much. We didn't even realize that, or stuff like that. Or my mom lives with me and we don't want step downs. And then they like a house. We're like, oh man, thanks. We didn't even realize that, because a lot of people don't have the funds to renovate that or what have you. So it's just one of those things, like paying attention to little details. That's what I like to do, because I think that pays off in the end, instead of just being like, here's your house. All right, bye, see ya.
Now with these new guidelines, where the MLS can no longer write out what the commissions are for the co-op. Well, I think it's bullshit too, but anyway. Now that you're writing offers, and obviously your buyer has to pay for that, but you can negotiate that into the purchase agreement. Are you having any challenges with that? Not with the buyer, but like with the seller to get the offer accepted?
No, but I will say this. I think now is when relationships with other agents come into play.
Yeah.
Because I was speaking to another agent. He's a big agent. And we were talking about it. And we were putting an offer on a house in the Ridges. And he was like, I was like, okay, I'm putting this in for the co-op. He's like, yeah, that's fine for you. He goes, if you were an agent that I didn't know and I knew you were new and I looked at your numbers up, guess what? You're getting 1%. Because I'm probably going to have to do the whole transaction.
Yeah.
So I do believe now, like, relationships are going to come into play with other agents. And it sucks for new agents coming in, because it's going to be hard to get to that point where you have, like, a good relationship with another agent.
And as far as, like, buyer brokers agreements, what are you charging for your buyers? Does it kind of, like, vary?
I am not doing a buyer broker agreement.
You're not?
No, I never have and I never will. I mean, if I have to, if they need it for my file, I'll do it at the end.
Okay.
But it's going to be really, really hard for agents, because discrimination lawsuits are going to come up. I bet you. Because if I am a buyer, right, and someone charges me 2.5%, let's just say. Yeah. And then I refer my friend, and then she gets charged 1%. And let's say Chloe, she's white, and I'm Latina, whatever. I can easily say, did you charge her less because she's a pretty white girl and me more? Or,
I guess that's a pretty good point.
Or
right,
like, or him, or you per se. Yeah. Like, oh, is it because I'm this, or is it because I'm black? Is it because I'm gay? But there's no standard. So how does that work? What if we just did, like, what if I said, well, my standard is 3% all around? But what do you mean? We just went through a lawsuit that said there was a standard. Yeah. So how do we meet in the middle without then opening ourselves up to lawsuits? Because that's opening ourselves up to something.
I think it's just a matter of time. So time will tell. Cami, I do want to say thank you very much. The Viper, everybody. Now, somebody wants to get a hold of you. What is the best way? I know you talked about there's a bunch of creepy ass people out there.
There is, you'd be
but
so
I mean,
surprised.
Obviously you have like over 1 million followers. So I mean, at this point, somebody wants to work with you. What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Go on my Instagram, Camy_LI.
Spell that. Is it just LI?
CAMI_LI. Yep.
Okay.
And send me. I read all my DMs. I do. I really do. I read them all. Or my email's on there. You can email me. But I try to keep my number off stuff. I do have a separate number for work, but you'd be surprised with the stuff I get.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Maybe we could do some Instagram where
I get dick pics.
Oh,
I get.
I mean, I don't want to show
pictures
that.
of underwear that people want me to wear, and if I'll send it back to them. I did that
Dude,
once
why
years ago.
Why don't you just do that and charge like $1,000?
No, I did. So I had my friend wear this thong to the gym, this guy, and then I sent it to him for $500.
Oh, you know what we should do? When that happens again, I'll wear that shit.
Yeah, we'll split it.
And we'll send it. We'll split it. Then we'll send the guy the video.
Yeah, of you wearing it.
That was me wearing that shit.
You'd be surprised the stuff I get. Like, can you see pictures of your toes? Can you take a picture? Like, it's just the weirdest
So
stuff.
basically, sex sells. Obviously, you're a pretty girl, and there's a lot of guys that are very attracted to you. So the question I have for you is, why don't you take advantage of that market?
Because I make enough money that I don't need to do that.
Okay.
To each their own. If you like to do that, hey, that's you. But I think I'm doing all right.
I don't know. If some girl out there want, my underwear, I mean, I only charge $250. Hit me up. I'll send that shit. All right, Mrs. Viper, I do appreciate it.
Thank
So,
you for
guys,
having me.
make sure to check out her Instagram, which is Camy_LI, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Is your credit score holding you back from purchasing a home? GC Credit Coaches is a repair company that's made easy. Their goal is to challenge and remove all negative errors that hurt your credit score. On average, GC clients see about 10.2 negative items removed over 4 months. Start improving your credit score today with a simple 2-minute online enrollment for a free consultation and a complete credit audit. GC Credit Coaches offers competitive monthly pricing, no contracts, no hidden fees, and the service stops once you are satisfied. GC Credit Coaches removes inquiries, collections, charge-off bankruptcies, and repossessions. Don't forget to visit gccreditcoaches.com.